What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Off the Beaten Path Podcast, your new favorite podcast. And today we are with Harrison Rimmer, your new favorite artist. Harrison, how's it going?
Good, thanks, my friend. How are you? You good?
Yes, sir. Doing good, man. Just give us a little introduction on what it is that you do and who you are.
Yeah, of course. So I'm Harrison. I play the guitar, write songs about traveling, love, mental health, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm from the UK, a small town outside of Manchester. Been touring around the world for nearly 10 years.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
And how did you actually get started in music? Like, did you have any musically inclined people in your family, or?
It was more a case of you'll find the story funny actually. When I was younger, my sister was learning the keyboard, and whilst she was having a lesson, my dad leans over and goes, "Why don't you play an instrument?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm trying to be the best Pokemon trainer there is, man. I've got this Game Boy Advance Peter Smash, man." And he's like,
Right.
"Just play drums." Nah. Bass? Nah. Guitar? Nah. And then this guy walks in, like a deity walks in, and he goes, "Will you teach my son the guitar?" He's like, "Sure." And I pick up the guitar, and the first song I play is "Rock Around the Clock," and I was hooked from that moment on.
Wow, that's
Mm,
crazy, man.
yeah,
I love those kind of stories because I play bass, Bobby plays bass, and
nice.
we started off on guitar, and the first song I remember learning how to play was I can't even think of it right now, but it was Lenny Kravitz song,
Ah, Lenny
and
Kravitz, man.
yeah, man, he's a
Yeah.
prodigy, but
Mm,
yeah. So did your dad? He's the one that kind of got you into it. Like
yeah,
learn something. Like your sisters learning piano. Like you learned
yeah.
something. Did he play music or
Not at
does he
all.
play music?
No, my dad tries to sing, um, but I was raised in the house of Motown and rock music. So I listened to a lot of
Nice.
like Marvin Gaye, Barry White, um, a lot of bands like AC/DC, Free, Queen,
Oh,
a
very
real
cool.
mixture of music.
Wow. So
Mm,
you have just an array of different musical interests that.
yeah.
So what inspirations do you draw from these days?
These days, Marvin Gaye is still a very big part of my
Wow.
influence. I love Nirvana, Bruce Springsteen, Frank Turner. What else? I listen to literally everything. I can go from Slayer to Beethoven in 2 seconds. Just give me anything, I'll listen to it. But Springsteen for me is my go-to guy.
I love that, man, because I'm the same exact way.
Mm, yeah, man.
Mainly honestly I listen to rap, but
Ah, man, yeah,
I might be listening to 21 Savage, and then next thing you know, Green Day or The Offspring comes on.
yeah.
Like,
Well, it's all connected, isn't it? Really, I mean, it's all about feel. It's all about expression of the self. I mean, I love listening to hip hop and stuff like that.
mhm.
Um, just I was listening to the other day. I listened to some Biggie earlier.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ah, my sister doesn't know who Biggie was. Like, you don't know who Biggie was? I'm like, what? So I had to like literally go, right, there you go, a bit of hypnotized. Boom,
Right.
straight in there.
Love when
Yes.
they call me Big Papa.
Put your
Yeah,
hands in
man.
the
Yeah.
air if he's a true player.
Oh, he was just such a dude, man. He was just so cool. And I wish I had gone into his music when I was younger more. So I went through this phase when I was 15 was like, it has to be loud, it has to be like metal guitars.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to write rap music and it didn't really work out. So I tried to listen to a lot of Eminem, and I just then discovered Sepultura and death metal, and then
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, that was me for years. Like, if it didn't scream, I didn't listen to it, which sucks because I
Right?
missed out on so much good music from like my high school and like early 20 years. But
Oh
yeah, I went
man,
through that same phase.
just there's something about angry music. I mean, Bobby, you might find it yourself when you discover music that's got a groove to it. It's like, oh damn, you just feel the bass moving you a little bit. Mm,
Yep, that's a hundred
mm,
percent, man. And
yeah.
speaking of, you grow up listening to all these different artists. You name
Mm,
Nirvana, Marvin Gaye, all the Motown artists,
yeah.
and even rap. Do you play any other instruments besides guitar?
Yeah, I play bass and I play drums.
Okay, and
Yeah.
So you do a lot of solo stuff, but
Mhm.
are you actually in a band or have been in a band?
Yeah, so I've been drifting out of bands for a while. I've been when I'm playing on stage with a band, it's usually just my name because the ego runs wild. Um, but when I during my younger days, I was in a band. I've been with the same drummer since I was 14. I've known him since I was 2 years old as well. Um,
Mm,
and we started off playing punk music and trying to be that sort of like punk rock. And then was under the name T for a few weeks. And then when I was at uni, that's when I really started to experiment more with playing drums in bands. I auditioned to be in some punk bands when I was younger, but nothing really stuck. I
right.
just session for other people,
Okay.
which is cool.
Hell yeah.
And you say you've been touring worldwide now for about 10 years. Has that
Yes,
mostly been under your solo stuff, like singer songwriter, or has some of it been
yeah,
with full bands?
mostly under my own name really. So I've spent the first 5 years really cutting my teeth and honing what I've been doing around the UK scene, and then in the last five, I started venturing out to touring around Europe, around Australia, parts of Asia, which has been really cool. And I'm hoping to get to America soon to play because it's awesome. I was in New York the start of last year, like losing my mind. Like, there's so many cool places in history to take in. What is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, question about touring in Europe, because everything's so connected, and
Mm,
travel inter-country is not very expensive.
no.
So how simple is it to book gigs in like Germany or other areas? Because I saw you play in Germany back in like 2017. Like
Yes.
how connected is everything that becomes? Is it simple or is it difficult?
It. I find it's like kicking in a door. Once you get your foot through, it's fine.
Gotcha.
Once the door opens a little bit, the touring starts to flow nicely. I was lucky. I was very lucky to be in a position where in 2017, when I first started touring in Germany, I made a friend over there, and I'm still friends with him to this day. And he helps me navigate the scene because I do a lot of house shows over there because there's just more
Oh,
intense.
I love house shows, man.
house shows are
Oh, they're
amazing.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I, I actually got a mosh pit going during a house gig in Göttingen, and it was just me and an acoustic guitar. And there's a song I wrote called Roots, which is very heavy and like, yeah. And I was like, right, we're going to split the living room in half, this side and this side. And on the count of three, we're going to charge. And this person's like, you're joking. I'm like, no, we're going to do it.
Wow. So
That's
you did a
amazing.
A
what's
wall
it
of death
called? Wall of Death? Yeah, you did
Yeah,
a
Wall
Wall
of
of
Death.
Death with an
in a,
acoustic guitar
yeah, yeah.
and in the house. That's amazing.
Life's too short. If you smash the wall of death in there in a German house show, do it.
Right.
That's fucking amazing, man. I love it.
It's all about the energy, man. It's all about. I feel as though when I'm on stage with the guitar, if someone's not come away from the show going, "Holy hell, that was awesome," or I got something from that's more than just music, I've not done my job. You know.
I agree. I agree
Mm,
100% because I've been playing bass off and on for about 15 years, and that
mm,
sounds amazing, but I'm not the best bassist, you know. I can't write music. I don't understand music. You
mm,
know, our guitarist, he'll teach me the song, teach me where
mm,
to play on the frets, and I can play it. But
mm.
something that I pride myself on is stage presence. You know,
Yeah.
I want people to leave like not only Nate, he was fucking insane. I want
Mm.
them to leave with, the band I'm in, Dead Blow.
Yeah.
Dude, they were awesome, man. Like,
Yeah.
because if they don't leave and don't talk about it, then we didn't do our job properly.
Yeah. It's like I feel as though we get into music. It's like you're both will agree with this. You get into music because you want to express something deeper than words can ever say. You know.
Hmm.
And speaking of that, what's your writing process? Because you do speak about romance, love, heartbreak,
Mm,
mental health issues. Like when you get down to write a song,
mm.
what moves you? What like do you come up with the guitar chord or do you write lyrics first? Like what moves you to write deep music?
Usually the music, to be honest. When I find the tuning or I find a beat or I find something that just if the bass feels right on my chest, if that note feels right, then something just that sounds really cheesy and all that. But if it connects with me and something just falls on my face, then that's how it usually flows. It's rare I come up with lyrics first. It's only happened once or twice that, and it's usually quite a freaky moment where it's like I've just got a line and I need to work something around it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And so, you said the music moves you, and you said
Mm.
lyrics hardly ever come first, but do
Mm.
you ever get down to write a song because you just went through something or you're going through something and you're like, I
Oh
need to
yeah,
express this?
yeah, all the time. When I feel as though in order for me to be genuine, I need to dig deep into who I am and just throw it out there, and regardless of whether I feel uncomfortable or not. If it fits what I'm trying to say, it needs to come on. I feel as though if you're not uncomfortable challenging yourself, then you're not pushing yourself enough.
Right.
There's a song I wrote which is called 10 Miles, which I wrote about a guy I met, a complete stranger I met outside of a show, and he was going through a really, really terrible breakup. And at that time, I was going through a really traumatic breakup, which wasn't going great for myself. And just talking to that guy, I connected with him. And then I was like, right, there's something in this. And I came home. I got home like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I picked up the guitar and I played this first chord. And there's something in this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've heard that from many artists, big, small, iconic, and the ones that you would never remember. But that seems to be a common theme of, yeah, when I sit down and like try to make something come out, it may or may not, depending on how that day goes. But sometimes
because it just sounds.
you.
Yeah, it just sounds. I feel as though if you force it, you're not going to connect in the same way.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes that magic just happens. Just the stars align, and it just happens.
And then poof, there you go. There's music, baby.
Music, baby. Come feel it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what kind of emotions do you seek to move in your audience when you write your songs?
That's a great question. I've never been asked that before, actually. Right, okay. I want them to have fun. That's the happiness, sense of value, and knowing that there's more to life than just the bad times.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can sing about the bad times, but don't let the bad times consume you,
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what we're all trying to look for, really. I realized, because during lockdown, I lost a family friend to, sadly, not because of the virus, because of suicide. And a big regret there was that I feel as though I could have done more to try and help. And whenever I play a live stream now, no matter how big or small, I'll always talk about reaching out to people to talk to them, because people do want to hear if you're going through something, because it's in we've got these vocal folds in our throat for a reason. So talk. Everyone wants to hear. I know it's really hard for people to come forth and talk about when things are, especially guys. I mean, we're renowned for bottling it all up and like, I'm a man. And it's like, it's okay to talk. Don't worry. It's not weak. It's, if anything, it's really powerful. You do,
Yeah, I think, and I think that's always the biggest regret if we lose someone that we love to suicide. It's like we could have done more, and it's like you said, just reaching out to people, just asking them how they're doing. It's so easy, it's so simple, but a lot of times we're consumed in our own lives that maybe we forget or just feel like we don't have the energy to reach out, but it's so easy and so simple.
But the question, how are you, is the biggest question to ask someone. I work at a post office when I'm not playing music, and we have a lot of people who are older, getting their pensions to come get the money to then spend it in a little bit. And the question, how are you, the answer can go from 2 seconds to a full hour-long conversation about their day.
Exactly. And yeah, you never have any clue what someone else is going through. So
exactly,
those three words with a question mark at the end of it can be really impactful.
Exactly. I love you, big 3-word question, big 3-word statement, and how are you using another big 3-word statement,
We were just talking about 3-word statements and 3-word acronyms the other night. I love them.
Yeah, man. Acronyms they're awesome, aren't they?
They are. And
I feel like
go ahead.
No, go on, Bobby. You first, mate.
No, we were also talking because the last 3 jobs I've had, are all 3-word acronyms. So like, not only
Nice.
do I like them in like literature and music, but they
Mhm.
follow me like in my professional life too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Apologies for the conversation going quite heavy there, guys. My apologies.
No, no, no. We get heavy and deep in all sorts of places. So free
That's
for
cool.
all, free for all.
Yeah, we love it, man. Our two mottos is stay black, don't be whack, and our other one that's a little more deeper is conversations with those that dare to be different. So
Yeah.
we like conversations with, we're off the beaten path, so we love conversations with people that don't take the normal paths, and
Yeah.
also conversations that aren't only surface level, like, hey, do you
Mm.
play guitar? How long have you been playing guitar? Like, no, we actually like to
Yeah,
dive
man.
deep.
That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's
So
all
yeah,
about.
yeah, definitely don't worry about getting too heavy. And you've came out with a few EPs, and before we
Yes.
started recording, you said you're working on the album. Don't have a date for it yet, but you're just working on it.
Yeah.
How long do you want the album to be? Because in this day and age, people don't consume music the
Mhm.
same way that they used to, or that we used to. So
Yeah.
how long do you want the album to be? Like 10 songs or?
Well, I was going to go for an epic double album, 50 songs. No, I was going to go for, it's only, I'm thinking 10 songs, maybe 12. Because I know myself, listening habits now, you can pick and choose what you listen to. And it feels like you have a 30-second window, if that, to get the attention. So, like, I dig this groove, I dig the riff. So I've picked the best songs I've written over the last 5 years and gone, right, that's what I've got. Let's throw it out there. And what's been really good about the production of this record has been my producer has really pushed me, and I've treated every single song as a single rather than just a massive bulk. So I'd go in, I'd sit down and record, and we'd be spending 3 or 4 days on one song just to make it tight. Because
Nice.
even if you dislike the song for what it is, you can't fault the production.
There you go.
Yeah, as I'm working with people all over the world. I've got my friends in Germany playing, some friends in Australia, and I'm just really trying to really use technology in a way. Because if I'm locked down, why not use the tool of friends all over the world just to play on an album that I firmly believe in?
It's beautiful.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, that's one positive side effect of technology is being so well connected and not having to be in the same geographical location.
Oh, it's like I'm talking to you guys right now, and
right?
you're across the pond, and I'm in. Well, it's gone dark now, but I was in one day sunny England.
There you go.
The sun came out.
we for this is that's our summertime now. We're done for the year. It's now grey and rain now. That's summer. That's it.
Wow. Wow.
And you did recently just come out with a Broken Strings EP. Do you want to do a little deep dive into that and talk about the process?
Yeah, man. That EP was a totally off the cuff record. So what happened was, me and a friend of mine, Luke, we were sat in his front room in Leeds with 5 microphones set up, and Luke's been filming me live for the last 5 years, and we've been talking about doing something together for a while. And I've been putting out singles like "I'm on Fire," "Veins," which are really like big rock songs, like really intense.
I
But
love
I've never.
Veins.
Oh man,
Veins,
thank you.
yeah, Veins is probably my favorite that I heard.
That's awesome, dude. That song actually is the beat's very funk inspired. Listen to all James Brown that was recorded.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm just sitting there, Luke, saying, I've got these songs for the last 10 years that I've just not really done anything with. So we started having a conversation, and he clicked record. And when he clicked record, I just started playing songs, and wherever the conversation went, we'd record a song and just do that. And the songs that end up on the record have never been released. Fan inspired. I mean, there's a song there called Proud, which if it wasn't for playing a small house show in Hagen, would never have been released, because the song's lyrically is really raw for me. So that record is just completely stripped back acoustic, and it's just me just throwing out the lyrics, wanting to have them make more of an impact than just the music.
And in that song "Proud," that's one of my favorite songs off the EP. Who are you speaking to when asking if they're proud of you?
I've never said this. I'm speaking to my family. at the time the song was written, I was going through a phase that was very self-destructive, very selfish. I was putting myself firmly in the position like, this is what I'm going to do in my life, blah, blah, blah. And I did the whole thing where I blocked everything out and just focused on that. And I came back from touring and I felt not hollow as such, but just something felt off. And I started playing the guitar, these basic chords, and the words just fell out. And then I was like, this is a song, okay. And I put it on the back burner for a while. And then the small show in Hagen was the first time I played it live on a tour. And the entire room was just silent. And it was like that weird connection where they've never heard me play before. They've heard one or two songs, but they never heard me. And that felt like really just ripping out my heart and going, this is what I'm about, you know?
And
yeah.
On the back end of those circumstances that you were going through, the family that you were speaking to, do you feel as if they're proud of you now?
Yeah. Ever since that kid, I am a very, very lucky man in that I've got a family who loves me. I've got a partner who loves me, and I'm surrounded by people who genuinely care about me. And that's more than anything. That's more than money. That's just, it's deep, you know. And they tell me regularly they're proud of me, which is great. It's very, very life affirming. And I make some decisions that some people go, why would you do that? But end of the day, like this podcast, Off the Beaten Path, you guys follow your own path, you know.
Exactly. Excuse me. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you might have something that you want to do, and it might be completely wild, and you might even know that it's wild, but you feel that it's in your gut and in your heart to do it, and other people may not understand it, and excuse me, and you may not even understand it, you know, but you feel like it's what you need to do. So that's great that you can, you know, look inside of yourself, you know, and actually do it and take that leap, whatever it may be, knowing that it may be shunned down upon or it may be looked at funny, but you're gonna do it anyway. So that's great that you're able to actually look from the outside and do that.
Yeah, it's like you both play bass, right? So when you're on stage playing, it's the most unnatural place for a person to be in front of a crowd playing. But for us playing music, it's the best place, right? It just feels like home.
It is home.
yeah. The second that light hits, it's like, there's my couch. There it is. That's the room.
Yep. Just crack.
No other experience like it.
Yeah. You can have. I've had days that were horrible, and before a show, and play the show, and in that 25 minutes that we're on stage, it's complete bliss.
Yeah.
It's hard to. On air. Yeah, it's hard to explain, and it's hard to reciprocate. Like, it's hard to repeat it.
Oh, it's too true.
It's a great feeling, man.
Yeah.
And speaking of proud, you know, and how you said that when you played that show in front of people that didn't really know who you were, and the whole room was silent, and you could feel the energy of everyone. And you also said that song was on the back burner for years. Has there ever been a song that has been maybe so personal that you were afraid to not afraid, but I'm gonna say afraid for lack of better words, that you were afraid to release it because you were afraid to what people's reactions would be to it?
Proud was the first. Proud is one of them. There's another song called I'm on Fire, which that song I co-wrote with a friend of mine called Craig Berry at 2:00 in the morning. And I remember that the whole day of the song, that the day felt like it was building to that song. And I remember talking to my dad about life, love, and the afterlife and all that stuff. We visited my grandparents' grave. We talked about that, all the stuff there. And I remember sitting up at 2:00 in the morning after drinking way too much coffee. You know, that weird coffee shakes you all get going?
Yes.
Yeah. And we wrote 9 songs in this session in like 4 hours. And
wow.
Oh, still there?
Yeah.
And it was crazy, man. I started just singing, somebody play that song again. It's been spinning around my head. I'm on fire with this monster in my head. And then it all just went, oh man, there's something here. And I put it on the back burner. And then I played again. It always seems to be at these really offbeat shows. There's this place called Glueston, which I don't expect anyone to know about. All that's there is a pub, a farm, and 6 houses. That's it. And it's proper like the Hills Have Eyes kind of vibe. But we drive into this pub like we're all gonna die. What the hell? And I go, this is a song. It might come out. It might not. Let's just play it. And the entire room starts singing it. And like, what the?
That's crazy.
And then my tour manager leans over and goes, "You better put that song out." I'm like, maybe I will. Maybe I won't. My producer went, "You got to put that song out." So we recorded it over 4 days, and then scared the hell out of me the entire time. But I did it.
And see, that's what I love about your songwriting style, because by the time you hear the chorus the first time, you're able to sing it the second time. Like the lyrics just get stuck. Like they're very
dude, that's deep. Thank you, man.
And they're easy to remember, but it doesn't take away from how poetic and metaphorical they could be too.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, like Broken Strings did that for me.
Did it? Oh man, that song in particular, I wrote going through a breakup, and it was this weird phase of like, it was a long distance relationship that didn't end great, and when it ended, her hometown flooded. So there's a line in there: the clocks got stuck and brought the flood.
Oh,
yeah, which is referenced that because time for me felt still, and then her town flooded, and then it just flowed from that. And and when we broke up, there's a song by James Morrison called "Broken Strings."
Okay.
Which is a reference to that.
Wow.
Gotcha. I was gonna ask where that metaphor came from. So it's
also break strings religiously.
Right. You said second string. The B string, when I played guitar, I always kept extra B strings because they break it all the time.
Oh, they're an absolute fucker, aren't they? There's literally a boom. It's like,
Yep.
Shit.
Yeah. I take great pride in breaking the sixth string, breaking that E string. When it breaks, I'm like, yeah, and then I rip it like a sacrifice, like yeah.
Right.
And then I cry because then strings are expensive to replace, and I start crying.
Yes. Yeah, I play 5-string bass, and when I used to play in a metal band, I'd break the fifth string, which is a big string. And they're like, "How
that's when it's true metal.
You break that string?" I'm like, "We're having a good time."
Hench as hell, man. It's just boom, yeah.
Having a good time. Yeah, the worst time, in my opinion, to break a string is the first song that you're playing on stage, and you break an important string. It's like, son of a bitch, how am I gonna play this song, or how am I gonna finish a set?
Oh, it's absolute killer. It's why it's handy to have a second guitar on stage, but if you can't afford a second guitar, just wing it. It's jazz. It's now freeform jazz.
Right. That's free jazz with lyrics on top.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you're a metal band. It's jazz metal.
Right.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
And some of the lyrics from Broken Strings that I really enjoy is, I guess what you maybe call it the pre-chorus, where you say, "It tears me up. I tried to fly away, but I got stuck."
Yeah.
What are you referencing to? Like.
So that's good. That's a good. No one's ever asked me on lyrics. This is sick. Thanks, guys. So on that lyric, I was referring to. At the time, I wanted to travel the world and play to as many people as humanly possible, and I felt like no matter how hard I tried to get out, something would pull me. You know the film like in It's a Wonderful Life. I felt like that character. Something would happen. Like I'd get a bit further out, and something would just pull me back in. You know, and I was trying to put that in terms of a relationship where I'd go off, travel for ages, and then come home, and then something would keep me from wanting to go back out there again. You know.
I get that.
Oh, sorry, Nick.
Oh, you're fine.
I was just gonna say the second part of that stanza is that you're better left on your own.
Yes. I come from a family where we're a big family. I've got a battalion of cousins and an army of aunts and uncles. But from my dad's side of the family, we tend to not selfishly focus, like work well on our own, but when we're left to our own devices, anything goes, you know. It's like you can really explore the depths of the soul, I guess.
Even when you speak, it's poetic. A battalion of cousins and an army of aunts and uncles.
Thanks, man. Irish Catholics, what can I say? Like
There you
rabbits.
go.
Yeah.
There you go. And speaking of poetics, so
Mm.
your music is poetry in itself, but did you ever or do you now actually write poetry with like no music?
I try to. Like I said, when I was 13, I tried to write rap music and failed miserably. It's hard to write about the ghetto when living in Blackpool. Um, when I tried to write poetry, but I just ended up picking the guitar instead of playing the guitar. I love Sylvia Plath. She's my favorite poet. I love her work.
I have to look her up. I've never heard of her.
Highly recommend it. She's got a great volume of poems, and
Cool.
they really cut deep. Um, some poetry actually inspires some of my lyrics too. There's a song called Rosalind. And I remember going to a meeting with a PR guy, sat there reading this book, and I was like, that's a great song title. And it tells this story of like this guy comes across this woman in a bar, and then it's like, that's everyone can relate to that. Let's just play it down.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
And with the album that you're currently working on,
Hmm?
um, do you have a direction to where you want it to go, or are you just kind of free flowing?
My joke answer was make me all the money, but no, the actual answer is the real direction I wanted to go in is I wanted to connect with people. You know, like I keep all the music I put out, I wanted to connect to people in a way. It sounds cliche, I know. I wanted to connect with people. You know, I wanted to inspire someone to go right. There's more to life than just where I am right now in this moment. I can jump. I can travel the world. I can experience new people, experience new life, new moments for myself. You know.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
there's
I
a
get
song
it.
of there's a song of the album which is called The Travelist, which is it's I wrote it as a piss take song of a guy I met in a bar. And he didn't identify himself as a traveler, he identified himself as a travelist because he traveled for work. And I was like, that's a weird. Okay. And he's like, one of these guys goes, he's got like the tie-dye pants and it's like with like peace signs and
A
proper
hippie.
skinny white dude. Yeah, like not he didn't identify as a hippie either. He was like, I'm a travelist man. It's like, so you're kind of like a hippie. Nah, nah, nah. What I do is a lot more expressive than that. Like, like we're all just like pebbles on a beach. I'm like, okay, dude, right.
You're a new age hippie. But
Yeah,
I'll accept that you're a travelist. But yeah, you're a new
yeah,
age hippie.
Right.
yeah. And it's just what sort of trip are you on? Like, shit.
He just got back from Amsterdam, I guess.
Yeah,
Right.
this is outback Australia. Like, all this there is just desert. Like, so
That's
what the hell are you
cool.
smoking, man?
Exactly. Give me some of it.
Oh yeah, I remember writing these lyrics, thinking this is a great song. That no one, I thought it was a great song for myself. Like for me, I was laughing my head off. Like these are making myself laugh with the story. And so, man, you've gone through some stuff. Went, yeah, yeah.
And how many
So,
different countries have you played in?
So I've played in Australia. I've played obviously the UK, England, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. Obviously England, the Netherlands, Germany. Oh God, I did a random show in Bali and one in Bangkok once. It's a Thailand. Yeah,
down.
Yeah, that's
That's
really cool, man.
that's a good
thank
bit.
you. It's the best. My dad said to me, as long as you have a guitar, you'll always have a best friend.
Mm, mm. That's beautiful. That's
Even if
beautiful.
even if you have to play Wonderwall.
And speaking of that, God, I don't remember which cover it was, but you do a couple of covers, and the thing I like about covers is you're playing the same song, and not
Yeah.
only you, but people do covers and they're playing the same song,
Mm.
but they put their own little spin on it, and I don't remember which cover it was that you did, but you could tell it's like, okay, yeah, this is the same song but totally different spin.
Was it In the Air Tonight?
How what was it?
Was it In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins?
Yes, yes, by Phil Collins. That's what it was.
Mm.
And I love the way that you did it. So, do you do a lot of covers or do you focus more on originals?
I do covers to survive, and I do originals for my own ego's sake. So I did a lot of covers gigs starting out, really, and I used to play stuff from when I was starting off as a solo acoustic guy, covers were a go-to because I feel as though in order to really expand one's own work, to really expand one's own work, you have to really explore other artists, what they were trying to do.
Right.
I mean, I even at one time I tried to cover 50 Cent. I'm just going to put it out there. I did try to cover it once. Didn't go well.
You tried. That's all
I
that
tried.
matters.
I tried. I can't pull off in that club. I can't pull it off. Yeah,
Great,
I did.
Great
it is a
song.
great song. I used to play on a Monday night in York. I used to play in a club called Cuda. 3 floors: your indie floor, your mainstream like dance music, and your VIP lounge, where people would get these really posh-looking cheap drinks, and there'd be an acoustic guy in the corner playing music.
Mm-hmm.
And I was that guy. And I get people going, "Yo, man, can you play like something? Because I've met someone. I want to really make a move. Oh, can you play like Freebird?
Right.
Can you play some Ed Sheeran?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll see what I can do." And then like get the phone out, find the lyrics, and then off you go.
Right. And with also with the album, it seems like you're in the early stages of it, but do you have a title for it yet?
Yes, I do.
Do you want to say it or keep it a little hidden, be mysterious, or give off the beaten path and exclusive?
Oh man, I'd love to do that just because you guys are cool as. But for the sake of not being shouted at by my team, I'm gonna have to hold fire. I'm gonna hold fire. But when I get a title, I'll let you guys know first.
Please let us know so we can promote it, please.
Hell yeah, man! I love your podcast, man. Like the work you guys do is just sensational. I enjoy it thoroughly.
Hey, thank you kindly. Appreciate it.
Yeah, really appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man.
And you brought up live streams earlier. How I know you do Turtleneck Thursday, but
yeah, man.
But with your live streams, where are they on? Are they on Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, and how often do you do the live streams?
So I'm mainly on Instagram and Facebook. The Turtleneck Thursday, to clarify, was an inside joke with a friend of mine that's gone out of hand.
Gotcha.
Because I have a turtleneck and he has a turtleneck, so Turtleneck Thursday.
Gotcha. Go on, Bob.
I was just gonna say, obviously with a live stream, the audience isn't with you wherever you're playing from.
Yeah.
But is there a decent enough platform where they can actually interact, and it feels meaningful?
Yeah. So what I do is I always make a point of having. Most people say, "Oh, I should do a proper setup like a camera and sound kit," but I'd rather just go straight to the phone so I can see people's comments and really just be there. And I do a thing as well where there's a song I play called Old Heart, and I really drag the mid-late section out where it's like a ooh, like really high pitch ooh. And I always say to people, what I want you to do is smash the reaction face that goes, and the emoji that does that as well. So it looks like you're going woo with me.
Nice. Yes, get that crowd interaction and get to yeah, that's cool, man.
The funny part is people think I've said something horrific during the live streams, like, "What's he done now?" I'm like, "Nah, man, it's all cool. It's a thing."
Right.
It's like, he's gone shocking. What's gone on?
Right. And when down, I had a question and it just totally left my brain. What was I gonna say? I don't know. It's gone.
It's okay, man. It'll come back later on and be like, "Oh man."
Exactly, and I'll message you and be like, "Hey, this is a question. It doesn't even matter if it's on the episode. This is a question." Oh yeah, actually, I do know. So with COVID, like we were speaking of earlier, in the South where Bobby and I are located, we don't give a fuck. So I've been to a comedy show in the midst of the pandemic, sold out show, 250 people in the club. So if we wanted to play shows and do things of that nature, we could. Have you gotten to play any shows during COVID?
I've played one show. Wow. That's when rules were lifted slightly. That was at a restaurant in a small town called Polton, a restaurant called Time. It was spelled like Thyme. And they went, "Right, thanks for coming. don't play anything scary or loud. Keep it mellow. I'm like, why would you book me then?
Right. Have you heard my music?
Yeah, it's like I jump on tables a lot. So okay.
I was about to do a wall of death in your restaurant here. So what's up?
Yeah,
Right.
it's like lobsters are gonna go flying. I'm sorry, man. They're a great weapon. I mean,
Oh man, that's awesome. Exactly.
yeah.
A question that I've asked a couple of times
Mm-hmm.
because I kind of don't like talking about COVID because it's been talked about so much that's almost annoying. But a, a recurring question that I actually like to ask is COVID has sucked for everyone, but
Yeah.
what positives when it comes to your music, what positives have you gotten out of it, if anything?
A real appreciation for people.
Mm.
I appreciate more the people who take the time to watch a live stream and to buy any merch on Bandcamp Friday. I also appreciate my friends more, my bandmates, way more than they'll probably ever know. Like it's like you don't see a family, it's like you can't. They're like family, you know.
Yeah.
And I've got friends in Germany who I want to see. There's friends over in York I want to see. There's friends and family all over the world that I need to engage with and interact with. And COVID, if anything comes from it, I appreciate people a lot more than I ever did. You know, playing the guitar is cool. Sorry,
Oh no, you're fine. Keep going.
playing the guitar is cool, and getting a crowd to go yeah is amazing. But to be on stage or to be in a room jamming with another person and feel it and that spark of magic coming in, you can't put it into words, man. You know what I mean? Like when you play bass and that kick drum syncs with your fingers well, and it's like you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think that everyone probably has the same sentiment as you do of
yeah.
just you realize how many things you actually took for granted.
No shit, yeah, shit, yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy,
Yeah.
man. It's
Oh,
crazy.
I'll tell you, the last gig I remember playing before this stuff hit the shit hit the fan. I remember coming back thinking like I could have done that show better,
Mm.
and looking back, I'm like, you spoiled brat.
Yeah.
You got to play a show to people.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like I've done some live streams in venues recently because that's okay to me. And I got to play on a stage I wanted to play with since I was 14 years old in Preston called The Ferret. And a lot of my idols have played on that stage, like bands like Failsafe. Even a young Ed Sheeran played there once.
Wow.
And I got to stand on that stage and play, and it felt. I wish there was a crowd there, but just being in that room playing the guitar alone was just enough for me, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. We really appreciate things like that now that this shit's happened.
Oh man, it's absolute bollocks. but
Yeah.
but
We
there's
have a
lights in. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say we have a venue like that in Georgia that's, fucking
Mm.
just legendary, man, called the Masquerade.
I
And
heard that.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
legendary. And I've been, Bobby too, we've been blessed to be able to play at the Masquerade.
Mm.
In the Masquerade, you got Hell on the bottom floor, you got Purgatory in the
Yeah.
room across the hall, and then upstairs, the big stage is
Yeah.
Heaven.
Oh
And
man.
I've gotten to play all three stages, and Nirvana played there in 1990. Just
Yeah,
all
man.
these big bands, and it's like, wow, I am so lucky and so blessed that I wasn't able to share the same stage like the same night,
Yeah.
but fucking Kurt Cobain was
Stood.
on this same stage.
Yeah, man. That's what it's all about. Like just to walk in and just feel the energy of a room, and it's like you can feel the to sound a bit cheesy and a bit cliche. You can feel the history that's been there. Like if the walls could
Oh
talk, they'd
man.
scream.
No, they,
Yeah.
they they scream all the fucking time. They're like,
Yeah, but
"Hey, do you
yes,
know how?
that's what I'm
Do you
talking
know
about.
who's been in here?"
Yeah,
They are screaming loud, man. Like
Yeah.
it
that's what it's all
it
about.
reeked of cigarette smoke. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, dude, it
lose the
was
shoes to the floor because it's so sticky.
Yep.
yes. And in
Oh,
heaven, like people are moshing and hardcore dancing, and like the floor, you can feel it shaking. And you're like, at any
yeah,
moment, we
It's a
might
matter of
fall
time.
through. It never happened.
yeah. Yeah, the great fall from heaven.
Yeah, man. Satan was an
Yeah,
angel at one point, and he fell from heaven. So,
it's the power of rock and roll, man.
hmm
That might be your next song title, man.
But
great
none
fall
of that
from
shit.
heaven.
That
What
could
was
be an
that?
album title.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
It could be an album title. You never know.
Ooh.
Never
Ooh,
know.
you never know. You
Ooh.
never know. You never know, man.
Mm-hmm.
You see, what you know.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, man, we're getting close to the end of our hour together. Is there anything that we haven't covered that you want to share and put out there?
Oh man. Nah, I think we've covered a fair ground, us three. I think we've done all right. I think we've covered a lot. If anything, I hope people I hope people know that if they want to talk, they can talk to us. And we're here. We're live. We're kicking it. Play music
Yeah.
and be good.
Yeah, man. I've really enjoyed this conversation. When it comes to like the direction of your music and where
Mm,
you want it to go,
mm.
what's the next step that you want to take to get to the mission or goal?
Album first,
Mm.
touring. Next step. I think it's just I got to feel satisfied in myself that I've done the best I can do, and it doesn't matter what people say as long as I know my core I've done right. I'll be on the next step.
I like that, man, because I don't like to consider myself a rapper. I
Mm,
do rap music, but
mm,
I don't want to consider myself a rapper because I don't want it to be a career. I don't want to play live shows. I just want to put out music. And what I always say to myself and maybe to other people, if they for some reason ask, is it may not be the best music.
mm.
You may not like it. You may not
Yeah.
understand it. And it may not be for you. But I know 100% that I've
Mhm.
been real the whole time.
Yeah,
It's
man.
either my life that I've been through or I'm telling the story of someone else's life because I saw it.
That's what it's all about, man.
You know,
If if fuck the world if they don't get it, as long as you get it and you know in yourself you like it, fuck it.
exactly because I mean, Bobby even asked a couple questions to for you to explain the lyrics, of a
Mm,
couple of songs, and it's the reason he asked those questions is because he knew what it said, but he didn't
yeah,
know where it came from.
yeah,
And that's what I love about art because I've talked about it on the podcast before is Bobby might hear one of your songs and interpret it one way. I
yeah,
might hear one of your songs, interpret it a completely different way because it affected me
yeah.
differently. But you're the only one that knows exactly what it was for.
Mhm.
But I love art, man, because you can just look at an art piece and feel something completely different than the
Oh hell
person
yeah,
next to you.
hell yeah. This is where like painters like Rothko. Do you know Rothko's work?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, Google his stuff after this interview because honestly, Rothko's work it's so simplistic. Literally, it's just paint on a canvas. There's no structure. It's just this is an orange square. You have to look at it and really whatever you get from it, it's what you get from it. It is what it is. It's just an orange square, but it's something more profound. The way the brush strokes have been, the way he's attached the canvas is another way.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, great painter.
Well, hell yeah. Like I said, it's been a great conversation. I've had a great time.
An absolute
Is
pleasure talking to you, gents.
Yeah, man. We'll put in the description, but where can people find you? Instagram, Facebook. What's your
Yeah, just
at name?
just Google Harrison Rimmer and I'll pop up. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Bandcamp, Spotify, Deezer, I'm all over the shop. I've even got TikTok now. On TikTok.
Uh
That's
oh.
Oh, nice.
Uh oh.
Uh-oh. I want to see some
oh,
viral
I know
videos come out.
it's very addictive, man. I've tried to do a dance routine. I'm not doing that. Not doing that.
I
If,
want to see
if
the Rimmer dance. Come on.
oh man, if I'm absolutely shit faced, maybe,
There you go.
just maybe. But the
There you go.
dancing's that horrific. It might break someone's screen from being so bad. So
Right, right.
why I don't want to risk being sued for breaking someone's phone for dancing too horrifically.
Hey, but that's publicity, so you might be in the news, and
Yeah.
Harrison Rimmer, acoustic guitar player and singer, gets sued for breaking someone's screen on TikTok, and boom, you
Whilst not
blow
being in
up.
the same, whilst not being in the same room. What the fuck?
Right. Hell yeah, man. Well,
Hell
hey,
yeah.
you got anything else, Bobby?
Stay black, motherfuckers.
Don't be whack.
Peace. Yes, I want to stop.